Hello, you look like you're in a dojo or something.
I am in a bathroom, but I'll let you believe that instead.
Hi, Maeta. It's Callum here from Media Spotlight UK. I'm so pleased to have you with us. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. And you know why I'm good as well? Because I've been listening to some of your tracks and they have got me in the perfect vibe. Like, I am just
Oh,
in the perfect vibe right now after listening to your songs.
thank you. Good. I hope that's how I make you feel.
But it's interesting your sound, and I find it very difficult to put you in a box. And
hmm
so, someone who foolishly doesn't know who you are or hasn't come across your music just yet, I mean, what are they doing? But like, how would you define your sound to them if you were kind of like to explain it?
I always say alternative R&B. I grew up listening to so much different stuff. Like I think that there's hints of like rock, there's hints of like blues in some of the songs, like things like that. So there's hints of everything, but alternative R&B is always like the safe thing that I say.
Yeah,
But yeah.
you can actually, I think you can hear bits of those influences. Like
Mhm.
in certain songs, you can definitely hear it, and you're like,
Yeah.
yes, I'm here for it.
Yes. Thank you.
So you're about to release your second EP, but
Mhm.
let's go back. Let's go back to your first EP very briefly and talk about what that was like as a project,
Okay.
and then how you've kind of evolved since then.
Okay. My first project that I ever put out, I did it right when I moved to LA. It was the first thing I started working on. It's called Do Not Disturb. When I think about it now, I thought that I was having such a hard life then. But now that I think about it, I just see like a little girl who's just trying to figure it out. That's kind of what the whole project was about. I was just trying to figure it out. I moved to a whole new city and I had paid rent for the first time, had to just do adult things. I had no friends. So those songs just kind of got me through that time, but it was kind of just like my start as an artist, like a real artist, I think. But I
Yeah.
love that project.
It's so true what you say that though. It's like you kind of look back at when you're younger and you're like, God, I thought I had it hard then. Now,
Exactly, and I'm probably gonna be thinking that about myself now in a year or 2 years. So I think it'll just keep on going. But yeah, that was a little girl when I did that project.
I mean, talking of being a teenager, your first single was Teen Scene. Um,
Yes,
as I said, absolute vibes, and
thank
some
you.
incredible collaborations there, both on the production
hmm
and obviously on the track
hmm
itself.
hmm
I feel like that's where you can kind of hear like a more professional like star. Like that's when it feels like okay,
Yeah.
Maeta is someone to mess with.
Mhm. Yes, that was. I'm very proud of that song, and we put a lot of work into it. It took a few sessions to get it figured out, but yes, I'm really proud of that song and that video too.
Yeah, the video is epic, and I love all your visuals. Like because obviously your latest release is
Yeah.
Toxic, and
Yes.
the visuals for that, I think I love it when a video tells a story, but also
hmm
um, tell me a bit about the track first, and then I'll dig into a little bit more deeper about what I want to ask
Okay.
you.
Toxic was produced by Skrillex. It's featuring Beam. It's just about toxic relationships and love and thinking you love somebody, but I don't even think you do deep down. I think you just maybe you just love how they make you feel. Like I don't know. Toxicness is a very complicated thing, but it's about toxic relationships. And yeah, I'm really proud of that one too.
Yeah, so this is exactly it. I wanted to dig into the sort of this subject of toxic relationships because
Mm-hmm.
the, everybody can relate. Like guys, girls,
Yes.
like everyone's been in a relationship that's just not quite,
Mm-hmm.
as fairy tale as people might think on the outside. And
Yes.
uh, tell us as much as you want to tell us about the kind of experiences you've had of toxic relationships.
Oh man, so many. I'm still learning. I'm still learning, but I don't know. I've been through. I think that my problem was I always like the bad guys. I feel like a lot of girls do. That's what I struggle with, and I think sometimes it's fun to not get a text back or for somebody to feel like they abandoned you. Like sometimes it's exciting, and a great, perfect relationship can be boring. So, and I get bored very easily. So that's kind of why that might be an easy thing for me to get into. But yeah, I don't know. There's a billion different types of toxic relationships, and it's very, very common.
So what you're saying is you like it when a guy just disappears on you and then you find yourself really attracted to him.
I don't think I even like it, but I think I like the feeling of not ever knowing, you know? Oh, where'd you go? Oh.
I thought that might make you more attracted to me. Did it not work?
Oh my God, I'm in love.
Yes.
But yes, I think I don't know. It's just kind of fun for somebody to, you never know what they're gonna give you. It's kind of like a game. Playing games is fun, and I thought I was over it, but for some reason it just keeps happening. So maybe I'm not. But yeah, it's fun to play games a little bit, and I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but it makes life a little more interesting.
And I mean, I completely agree. Like you can't avoid you can't say that it's not interesting or fun or keeps you on your toes, because that's exactly what it does. It keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
But if you had a friend, so rather than you, because it sounds like you're like, yeah, come on, bring the top. I don't mind. Let's do this. But like, if you had a friend or a sister or a loved one or something you were looking after, and you were trying to kind of give them that, you know, that really caring advice, like what would be your top tips on how to navigate a toxic relationship?
I would say just cut it off. Okay, this is literally to myself. I'm talking to myself right now. Cut it off. You deserve better than this. I think that, I don't know, I think it's good to put yourself first. It's hard to say this to myself, but if I'm thinking about like my cousin or something, I know exactly what to say. But you have to just put yourself first, and people should be waiting around for you. You shouldn't be the one waiting for a text back. You shouldn't care. You should have them in control. Maybe that's toxic too. Oh my God. I don't think that I'm, but that's like toxic when you're in power. I don't even know. I really don't even know.
I like that. You're like, just flip the toxic, you know?
Yes.
Rather than being the victim, just become the...
I think that I'm stuck in toxicness. I don't think I can escape it. Yeah.
Well, this is the irony, because obviously your second EP is called Habits, and
Yes.
you know, it hints at those kind of bad habits that you can get into. Obviously, it sounds like being in toxic relationships is one of your bad habits, but
Yes.
also good habits. So what are some of the good habits?
Oh, it's so much harder to think of these than it is the bad habits. Good habits, I don't know. Like, I have good habits when it comes to taking care of myself. I always take my makeup off. I groom myself fine. I spend a little too much money, but I definitely like to treat myself. So I think that's a good habit. I don't know. I thank people. Sometimes you can forget that, but I like to stay good with my people. And yeah, but this is like such a hard answer. Because like toxic or bad habits, I can think of a billion so easily. But yeah, I don't know.
You're like, yeah, I can reel them off. That's easy. When it comes to the good
Yeah.
stuff, you know.
Uh-huh. But
But
I don't know. There's probably a lot.
you mentioned about kind of staying cool with your friends and or being respectful and polite and stuff. Obviously, you know, you're from Indianapolis. You've moved to LA. You've started to like release songs. You know, you're making it big. How has that been? You know, for you, and then also for your friends from back home and things like that. You know.
It's been really hard for me, but I've loved it because I'm just getting closer to my dreams, which is all I really care about, to be honest. If I have to say bye to my people, not forever, but I'll take the challenging situations to get closer to where I want to end up. Because this is all temporary. But, well, maybe it's not. I don't know. But it's been really hard. I think that my circle has gotten a lot smaller, but my real friends have stayed. And they don't care if I can't call them because I'm doing interviews and all that stuff. Like, they understand it. But definitely I've lost a few friends, but I don't know. I think it's good to have a smaller circle. But,
Yeah, and actually that kind of theme of toxic relationships does also marry into friendships as well, doesn't it? You can have
Yes.
toxic friendships.
Yes, that's definitely true. And I've had my run with those. But I'm in a good place with my friends now. I have a small core group of people that I think will be there until I'm 8 years old. So, yeah.
Good. Well, I mean, I'm hoping I'm now included in that little circle. It sounds very exclusive,
Oh my God,
but
yes.
you know,
can join all the group chats.
I've ghosted you. You know, I've done everything I need to do. I mean, did I mention I'm a bad guy? I've got a motorbike and a leather jacket, and I punch people and stuff. Is that?
Well, welcome to my toxic family.
So what's on the horizon then? Because you talk about getting closer to your dreams. You talk about that kind of pursuit of happiness. So what's beyond toxic? What's beyond habits? What are you seeing kind of on the horizon there?
Well, after Habits comes out, which is April 30th, I would love to go on tour. I think I was supposed to go last year, but then the pandemic happened and everything kind of just got shut down. But I've never been on tour before. I want to open up for somebody. That's a dream of mine. Eventually put out an album, so there's everything's been talked about, but I'm just focused on Habits right now. But there's definitely plans for bigger things, and yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us at Media Spotlight UK. It's been an absolute pleasure, and it's been a journey. I feel like it's been a journey for you, but also for us to hear about these toxic relationships that you've managed to shed, sort of.
Yes, kinda, a little bit. I got some stuff off my chest.
Exactly. Okay, well, good luck with the release. I can't wait to hear the whole EP, and thank you again.
Thank you for having me.